Neat games. Hello world, Neat Games here. I'm trying my best to make a fun and beautiful Metroidvania that people will love to explore. This is how the game started, and here it is now. It's been a while since my last YouTube video, but I've been working diligently on my game. In fact, I've been submitting it to several game jams with the theme of continue to work on your game. And last month was Devtober, which takes place every year in October. And that is a kind of a challenge to work on your game just a little bit every day. And actually, I started YesterSol last year's Devtober, so I've been working on the game for 1 year already. Now, I want to let you know how I stayed consistent making a Metroidvania for 1 year, and some of the neat updates to the game. But first, please check out the new trailer. I threw that trailer together real quick. I just wanted a new trailer that shows the updated graphics, especially for the Steam page. As I mentioned before, thanks to Devtober and all those other game jams, I got a ton of feedback and suggestions, and here's some of the cool ideas I implemented. Now, there is a little less instant kill hazards. Many players found it frustrating that you could die so easy, and they couldn't even make it to the first boss. But now I think it's a lot more balanced. Also, there is an improved death system. Before, there wasn't really any, and if your health reached 0, you just spawned at the closest door. But now, there are save points, these little heat seed sprouts. So if your health reaches 0, you spawn back at one of these. And if you get hit by an instant kill hazard, it just spawns you back at a checkpoint with -1 health. And for the battle arenas, I added this cool electricity effect. Because before I just had a particle system, and many playtesters didn't even notice it, and they would just walk into it and take damage. But now, the battle arena border is very clearly defined, and I saw that no one was running into the electricity. This electricity effect also replaced a lot of spikes. I think it makes more sense for the world, plus it looks cooler. Next, here's some of the stuff I've added since my last video. There's a new main menu layout. I actually changed this quite a lot, it's kind of fun just to tinker with. But this is the current layout, and also I added some cool effects, like when you hover your mouse, there's a little sound effect. Also, there's a little scaling animation. And finally, after a lot of tinkering and breaking my game, I finally have a multiple save slot system. It's really janky, but it seems to work fine. And when you click New Game, now there's a simple opening cutscene. I mostly wanted to set the mood of the story, just so playtesters felt a little bit more attached to the character and would hopefully play more. Also, in terms of the look of the game, I've started adding subtle textures to all of the sprites and background art. It makes my art style look less dull, and it makes it have a really unique look. And when you change zones, now there's this cool zone text. It's linked to the music changing system, so I hope when you enter a new zone, it helps it feel really different and exciting that you found something new. Next, there is a dialogue system. This is linked to the signs and various NPCs in the world. Oh yeah, and now there are some NPCs. Currently, they just talk and give you some lore, but I think it's really cool to have them in game. They even change position depending on which boss you beat, so you'll see them move around the world. And of course, I've been growing out the world and building more and more zones. It's a lot of fun. Oh yeah, and mentioning new zones, I've added these little cool secret zones. When you walk into them, the tile map goes away and reveals the area. There are also breakable walls. These walls might reveal a secret zone, or they might unlock a path, a shortcut, to make traversing the world even easier. There are new enemies as well. There's one that ping-pongs off the walls. It might just bounce around, or it might shoot projectiles. There's a new one that patrols all the way around the platform. And there's a beetle that lobs projectiles if you're too close. Also now, when the player takes damage, there's this really cool, subtle, low-pass filter, and it makes it sound kind of muffled. So I really like that effect when you get hit. And also I added various ambient sounds around the world to try to make it feel more alive. A lot of them use the 3D positional audio, so you only hear them when you're close up to the object. And also the bosses got some upgraded art, and I added a better intro for the first boss, and I totally redid the second boss's art, and now I think they're looking really cool. And those are all the updates I could recall right now, and I'm happy that I'm still working on the game quite well. I took a few breaks every now and then, but I did stay pretty consistent throughout the year. Summer I took the longest break, maybe almost 2 months. It was crazy hot here in Korea, and also I went on a really cool trip to Japan. And then when I got back, it was the whole Unity pricing debacle, which was quite demotivating, so I took a little game dev break then. But now I'm back at it, especially thanks to Devtober. It feels good to be back in full game dev mode. So how did I stay consistent working on my Metroidvania for 1 whole year? Well, I tried to make working on my game a habit, like making my bed or brushing my teeth. So to help me remember, at home and at work, I made my homepage my Milanote page. I use Milanote to do all of my game dev brainstorming. So whenever I start up my web browser, I would see and think about my game. And after work, I just forced myself to look at Unity first, and nothing else. I tried to ignore social media as much as possible. After that, it just became a habit. And I think honestly that was one of the biggest things that helped me. Just having my game be the first thing I saw when I turned on my computer, and I had less chances of getting distracted. And that's it for this video. Hopefully I'll be more consistent from now on. And please remember to wishlist YesterSol. As you know, it helps a bunch. And I actually don't have that many wishlists. So please, if you have a Steam account, please give it a wishlist. See you in the next one. Bye bye. Neat game.